The Vancouver Canucks have just come back from a 2-0 deficit to win in overtime against the Boston Bruins. And this was a game where, I'm going to be honest, I was willing to throw in the cards. I was willing to throw the chips to the wall, rage quit the game, turn off the TV, because at one point it was 2-0 in the second period, and Jeremy Swayman, goaltender for the Boston Bruins, he made a bunch of great saves in a row. I forgot what exactly the sequence was, but he made a ton of saves. And at that point in the second, I was like, okay, the Canucks are going to lose. Like, they're going to get shut out again. They're going to get shut out this time on home ice. It's so poetic, right? In 2011, the Vancouver Canucks lost one of the games in Boston 4-0, and then they lost in Vancouver 4-0 in Game 7. Crazy how that works, right? Then they lose 4-0 earlier this season against Linus Ullmark in TD Garden. And now, I don't know if this game is going to become 4-0, but it's sure as hell going to at least be 2, because the Boston Bruins are not allowing anything to get by. And Jeremy Swayman is giving Tim Thomas vibes, because this man just cannot let a puck in. He's superhuman. And part of me is kind of frustrated. You know, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, Bruins fans were already pissed off at the Vancouver Canucks and JT Miller for the things that happened with Jeremy Swayman at the All-Star game. So what more now? They're getting the last laugh. You know, it feels one way to see your hockey team go out there and lose a whole bunch of games in a row and lose and lose and lose despite being the quote-unquote best team in the league. But it's another thing to feel that embarrassment where it's like, yeah, all the Boston fans, they're right. They have been proven correct here with their assessment of the Vancouver team, and Jeremy Swayman is stepping up and being the better goaltender. And it's not even that Thatcher Demko was bad in this game. He was fantastic. He was on top of his game. It's just, for a good portion in the second half of the frame, Jeremy Swayman was out of this world, amazing, bonkers, bananas, Vezina caliber Swayman. And I saw the growing frustration on social media from Vancouver Canucks fans saying, why can we just not bury a goal past this gosh darn guy? A lot of the Canucks shots were going high and wide. They had really strong zone time in the third period especially. They certainly bounced back from a game in Seattle where they looked apathetic, lackadaisical, bro. This was a big revival. They got their Jugo Juice back in there. Is it Jugo Juice? No, Mojo. Is that what it is? I forgot what the Austin Powers thing is, but they looked better. They just could not beat Swayman, and that was the problem for most of this game, especially in the third period, that I was kind of saying already, they're going to lose. That's it. Like, they're playing so well. They're getting so many opportunities. Some of these are going high and wide. Some of these are getting miraculously stopped up by Swayman. But they are playing in a way that they probably deserve to win this game. It's just hockey is hockey sometimes, where the better team loses. And Jeremy Swayman was making sure that the better team was going to lose tonight. Until Brock Boeser. Oh boy, Brock Boeser, he comes out here and gets himself a goal to kick things off for Vancouver. 7:11 to go in the third period, and Brock gets the puck right out in front. He's got some time. He shoots it. He finally scores a goal. His 31st of the year. He's been on 30 for most of this season. And you know how many gosh darn goals the guy has gotten taken away because JT Miller is either offside or JT Miller interferes with the goalie. It's always JT Miller. He's always going out there and taking away the Brock Boeser goals. But this time he gets the assist as Boeser gets it out in front, snipes it by Swayman. 1-goal game with 7:11 to go. And then Vancouver pulls the goalie. And at this point I was kind of panicking. Halfly because, okay, the last time the Canucks pulled the goalie against Boston in Vancouver, it resulted in a gosh darn Linus Ullmark goal. He scored from his own end. He did the thing, the goalie goal. But this time around, I was kind of thinking, you know what? The Bruins have been on a very strange streak as of late, where they've been blowing games and losing in overtime. They've been scored on a ton with 6-on-5 man advantages with the empty net. And this has been a problem for the Boston team. For most of this year, they have, 10, now 11 overtime losses on the season? It's been bad. And at this point, I was thinking, okay, are they going to do the thing again? Are they going to get a goalie goal? Or are the Vancouver Canucks actually going to man up, put their overall straps back on, and start converting on their chances? And this is where Filip Hronek gets the puck at the blue line. He walks right into the middle, fade away, backward skating to the top of the slot. He winds up, he fires, and he scores! It goes right through! Brock Boeser is the screen. He did this on an earlier goal like 2 weeks ago, but Brock Boeser has been the guy who, out in front, is able to make it so that goaltenders can't see those pucks. And Filip Hronek gets a goal from Miller and Pettersson. That's Miller's second point of the night. And the Boston Bruins fans that I'm paying attention to on the Reddit, they are freaking the F out. Oh boy, this was predictable. Oh, they did it again. They're always giving up goals against on the 6-on-5. When will this team ever learn? We're gonna blow this game and lose it in overtime. And then in overtime, you know what happened? A miracle happened. The Vancouver Canucks went on the power play. They only had 2-man advantages this entire game, and one of them was truncated. They get themselves a full 2-minute man advantage in overtime because the Boston Bruins had a sloppy line change. Too many men. And Vancouver, with their unit of Pettersson, Hughes, Boeser, and Miller, get out there, and Hughes circles back at the top of the slot. He sends it over to Miller on the left side. Miller right in front, and it's Brock Boeser once again who gets the game-winning goal to go in overtime. 3-2 Vancouver victory. And we can talk about the penalties. We can talk about the power plays. We can talk about some of the calls that were thrown against Vancouver. The Tyler Myers for slashing one in particular, that was one that was very, very bad in my opinion. The Canucks had their own too many men penalty in this game as well, on top of a bunch of other ones. The Boston Bruins could not convert as much as they probably could have. Like, you know, you get 4 power plays in a game, you expect to score at least on 2 of them if you're lucky. But the Bruins, they convert on 0 of them. It doesn't happen. And the Vancouver Canucks are able to take over in a game where they did not lead in a single second. It took them 7 minutes to tie the game up at the end of the third, from down 2-0 to tied 2-2, and then they win in overtime. What a way to jump back to the top of the NHL standings. Vancouver overtakes both the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers with this victory. They are back in the #1 spot. It actually was going to be one of those games because Boston and Vancouver were both tied up at 80 points with each other. The New York Rangers had 81 points and a few games in hand. So the winner of this game was going to become #1 in the NHL again, although not in terms of points percentage. So Vancouver, they've gone out there and reclaimed that first overall spot. The Rangers, though, they've won 10 in a row, so they may have a chance of getting back up by the time their next game concludes. But for this game right here, between 2 of the top teams in the NHL, I feel like for most of the third period, the Vancouver Canucks played like one of the top teams in the NHL. Quinn Hughes played like 10 minutes in that third. It was insane. The guy did not come off. But the way he's able to control the puck, the way the rest of this team cycles around, I'm going to go out there and say this as well. When it comes to judging the players on the team, there is an entire controversy going on with Elias Pettersson right now because of the apparent idea that teams are calling about him and his $10 million alleged contract offer that was given out on the table. I'll go out there and say this. Just from what we had seen tonight, I don't know if I can confidently say that Elias Pettersson is a $12 million player, but you can darn tootin' for sure say that JT Miller, with the way he's able to control the play and how he's been playing this season, especially in that third period, that guy is playing like a $12 million player. So it's good that the Canucks are able to sign him for a lot cheaper of a deal, especially considering, you know, he's older and he's not going to be like this for the rest of the contract. But for now, based off of what we're seeing from JT, that guy is an absolute monster. He deserves to be arguably the most paid player on the team, at least from tonight's action, of course. So the Vancouver Canucks have finally won a game. They defeated the Boston Bruins 3-2 in overtime, coming back from down 2-0 with 7 minutes to go in the third period. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this game. We didn't even talk about the goals. My goodness. The Boston goals, yes. Let's recap those quickly before we go, because the first one was scored by Jesper Boqvist. Bad defensive play by Filip Hronek in the neutral zone, which gave the breakaway. Hronek, of course, redeemed himself with a tying goal at the end of the third period. And then the second goal scored by Boston, Danton Heinen, local boy, who is able to put himself in the blue paint and just whack away at a puck, forcing it to go. That's a greasy goal, but it went in. Demko was good, Swayman I thought was a little bit better, but he got beat once more, which is all that really matters at the end of the day. So Vancouver fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks beating the Boston Bruins. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.